Hi, everybody. This is Dan from Repressed Humor Issues. We recorded a video podcast for this week's episode called Olive Roadhouse Defibrillation. Unfortunately, the video and audio channels did not line up, and Ryan and my's video and audio were offset in such a way that the recording got confusing with the video in it. We were able to extract the audio and retime the audio to work correctly, but you will hear multiple references to video in this episode. Now, in the spirit of non-editing, I'm going to tell you that the only editing that we have done again is to be able to sync up the audio. But when you hear the references to video, please be aware. We had a great conversation. We thought it was funny. We didn't want to lose that, so we're bringing you the audio portion of that. We will work with our hosting provider to be able to find out why that occurred and attempt to fix it. But in the meantime, please enjoy the audio version of Olive Roadhouse Defibrillation. Thank you. No, you don't have anything in your teeth.
Great. That's starting off strong. Welcome back, everyone, to Repressed Humor Issues. I am the worthless peon of a host, Quillfort the Fartster, also known as Ryan.
And I'm Thanos. I'm leaving it just at that.
You also, just so everyone knows, we have, well, I guess maybe you'll be able to see it. I don't know. But in the event that you're not able to, we have the ability to give ourselves titles. So he is God, and I am a worthless peon. So very fitting for how we run this show.
And we had to pick these before we started the video, so we didn't know what each other was going to pick, and it just happened that it got it right. It's perfect.
And, you know, we could have been straightforward and just said Dan and Ryan, but that's too easy. That's too straightforward. It's not us.
So you're going to notice a change today. We're on video. We're trying this out. Yeah. So my wife already told me that I'm furry. I did not shave over the holiday season, so this is coming off either today or tomorrow.
Very sure.
Wow. Okay. Then it became an HR moment.
Yeah. Well, our HR department's very small.
Okay. With that.
Yes. So I have something that I found. I shared with you, but I want to, well, tell you what, I'm going to let you go first. And then before we introduce the sponsor, I'm going to talk about the thing I uncovered today.
Okay. So I have another complaint, and this is not a bit that we're doing where I just go and randomly find stuff to complain about. This is honestly a complaint because I've been complaining about this for years. When I was single, I had tons of those plastic hangers, and they worked perfectly well. Nothing fell off of my hangers. My closet was immaculate. I could keep it all sorted. It was beautiful. It was wondrous. But my wife does not believe that plastic hangers are the answer. She believes that those menace to society called flocked hangers are what we should all be working with. Now, I insist they are a crime against humanity.
Wait, you mean mostly, like the fuzzy, velvety looking ones? Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
okay. That are impossible to get your clothes to sit on properly, or impossible to get your clothes back off of afterwards. You're always worried. The plastic ones, you could tell how much you could bend it to get stuff off of it. But the flocked hangers, the flocking blocks out your view to see when it's starting to crack and when you're going to whack something with it if you bend it too far. I'm telling you, this was a solution looking for a problem, and there was no problem. And I absolutely hate them. They should be a war crime. I'd like to hear what other people have to say. If you're pro plastic hanger, if you're pro flocked hangers, but my wife has thrown out all of my great plastic hangers, and all I have is flocked hangers. Now, I hang up every single shirt that I own. I do not have a drawer with any shirts in it whatsoever. So this is a multiplication problem because every single time I get a new shirt, like around Christmas, there's more flocked hangers that are needed because I'm not allowed to buy plastic hangers.
But
So,
I, okay, so and this is kind of fitting because I'm doing this podcast from my closet, with tons of things hanging around me. But so we have a combo of plastic hangers and the wooden hangers, but the wooden ones from IKEA because we like to look fancy, but we don't want to spend the money. Uh, we don't, to my knowledge, have a single velvety flocked hanger because of all the reasons that you mentioned. Because the struggle of getting it on the flocked hanger is enough to say no forever.
so first of all, we know you're IKEA bougie. That's got to be a thing from now on. We also did talk earlier in a chat we had going back and forth about how you're on your way to hookerdom. You wanted me to get that in. I got it in.
uh,
So if you have IKEA wooden hangers, just realize you're on your way to hookerdom.
so are we leaving that with no context?
No context
All right.
whatsoever.
Okay. We'll let it go.
But I mean, normally with the plastic hangers, you put the thing in, you hang it up, and it settles by itself.
Yeah.
And with flocked hangers, you put it on the hanger and then you adjust and you adjust and adjust and adjust. I swear it's like some sort of training for menial tasks. Okay, tasks that nobody wants to do. And it just makes putting away laundry that much harder to the point that in my bless her soul, my wife's desire to not hear me complain, she hung up all my shirts the other day.
Well,
She
I
never
mean,
hangs up my shirts. She never puts my clothes away.
problem solution.
Yes.
She created it. She needs to solve it.
Yep. And then so I would always complain about folding my white undershirts. So we got one of those clackety clack things that you just fold it the three ways and it folds
Oh,
the shirt for
like
you.
they have it like the different clothing stores and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I call it my clackety clack. I don't know what else to call it. But
That's-
that was also a response to me complaining, her saying I wasn't folding my shirts properly, and me saying the amount of time it took to make a shirt, an undershirt that nobody's going to see on me, actually fit properly folded in the dresser. It just wasn't worth the effort. So she got me the clackety clack.
Well, I also want to call it. It's worth noting that Scotch and Soda is not a sponsor. It just happens to be in the closet since we're on video. We've never had this problem before. But if they'd like to sponsor us, I obviously buy your jackets.
So who is our sponsor today, Ryan?
Well, so before that, I want to give a nod to one of our past sponsors, who's come up from time to time, but I stumbled across something fantastic from Jolt Cola. And this is from back when they were producing a lot of social media content, but this is a Christmas sweater they put out. And it says Bah Hum Chug, Jolt Cola, Jolt Cola. I guess I could show it.
Yeah, the problem with this, and we talked about this one too, is if that shirt folds wrong, it turns into bum chug. I mean, put it up again. Just put it up so everybody can take a minute to understand that somebody at some point is going to fold that shirt in just such a way it's going to fall on the floor, and a kid's going to go looking at it, and that kid is going to go up to his parents and say, "What's a bum chug?"
What's
And
awesome is that it's a thing. Bum chugging is a thing.
I'm wondering which is worse. Okay, we're just past the holiday season. Having to explain to your child that Santa isn't real, or having to explain what a bum chug is.
I'm gonna go with bum chug is a lot worse.
Yeah, I would assume so too.
Which brings us to our sponsor. Because Jolt Cola refuses to respond, Surge.
Yes. So the new slogan for Jolt Cola is "Fuck you, Jolt Cola, drink Surge."
I just remember like when Surge came out, I don't know why, and maybe I have it wrong. It's that Mandela effect or whatever, but it came out with a Ghostbusters promo of some sort. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
You're digging way deep for that one.
Like Slimer came out with it or something like that, or that was a heist. Oh, no,
Oh,
now I know
never
what it
gonna
is.
be able to drink that without thinking of Slimer from now on.
But it's not, it's a high C cooler, like,
Okay.
yeah, alright, I fucked that up. But anyway, Surge, sponsor us.
Surge, not Jolt. Now, if you guys haven't realized, every single sponsor that we have basically has gone bankrupt, except for when we kind of did a little bit of stuff with Tesla. But everybody has basically been bankrupt, and that's kind of our deal. Is we only want bankrupt companies to sponsor us, but we want bankrupt companies that can be part of a fight later on. Like at some point, Zima is going to sponsor us.
Yeah, I mean, we have to find some other defunct car company. Well, DeLorean's back, so we messed that up too.
Plymouth.
Hmm, it's still Chrysler.
Okay, so Tucker.
Datsun.
Datsun's Daewoo.
What is a Daewoo?
Daewoo is a car company that Datsun makes their cars. Daewoo also made some of the low end GM and Ford cars for a little bit.
I learn something every day.
I think you learn a lot of things every day. You forget them all by the end of the day,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you
yeah,
learn a
yeah.
lot of things.
Wait a second. I'm just doing quick research. Daewoo is declared bankruptcy back in 1999.
Okay, so there you go. Daewoo can sponsor us.
Love it. Just opening the Pandora's box of infinite non-possibilities.
Yes.
But
Yep. Look out, Radio Shack.
oh yeah. So if you could introduce our little debate that we have today that I find to be a little curious and fun.
Yeah. I don't know how we came up with this one. It was just something kind of weird. We decided we were going to pit two restaurants against each other, and one of us was going to pick one restaurant, the other one was going to pick the other restaurant, and we were going to have a debate as to which is better. So our opening salvo in this is Olive Garden better than Texas Roadhouse? I'm going to represent Texas Roadhouse, so I'm going to win. Ryan is going to fumble around with his drink, his mocktail, and pretend like he's actually a part of this
Yeah.
while failing spectacularly at debating me.
Well, I forget that we're on camera as well, so my placement of my drink is really unfortunate. But it's I'll give them a plug. It's Three Spirits Livener, and it is a mocktail, but it's supposed to liven you up. So hopefully you feel that in the warmth of my voice. I won't ever do that again. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I mean, talk about killing the mood inside of the first 11 minutes.
What? Where are the fucking candles? Jesus.
Okay, so we've got to talk about this because there's a lot of stuff to talk about with these two restaurants.
Yeah.
And you're going to see the name of this one is actually called Olive Roadhouse Defibrillator, because basically you need a defibrillator after you've been to both of these restaurants. But I'm going to start with my opening salvo. The the rolls with the cinnamon butter, the sugar cinnamon butter, way better than those breadsticks that they have. And they bring them to you hot, ready for you to eat. You cannot do any better than the sugar cinnamon butter rolls that they have at Texas Roadhouse.
This one's hard for me because the butter's I could just eat it by the spoonful. It's so goddamn good. I don't even care about the roll.
That's wrong. That's wrong. You got to eat it on a roll. Otherwise, you're just putting grease down your gullet.
I see nothing wrong with that. But I mean, it is a high point for Texas Roadhouse. I'll give you that.
Oh, one of many.
But I'm going to counter it. I know you already said one of the things, but you missed the other two. Soup, salad, breadsticks.
Okay.
That trifecta, woo!
But we talked about it. It's not salad. It's dead stuff in a bowl.
Look, It's there to check a box so that you can say you got some fiber and a random banana pepper that you don't understand why it's there. I guess to give it some quote unquote spice. Oh, I can do quote fingers and people actually see it this time.
And
Uh,
14 pounds of cheese.
that's the minimum. But
Have you ever seen the biceps on those people?
oh yeah, I mean, you know that you can buy that's it's not one of mine, but you can buy the actual cheese grater that they.
$29.99. You can actually go to Olive Garden and buy
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I learned that in my research.
Yeah, see, they keep the rolls. They keep that recipe secret, so you never know how much sugar and how much cinnamon you have to put in to be able to make that butter.
Well, that was we were talking about cheese. Thank you. And the breadsticks do come out piping hot, sometimes scalding, and
Sometimes they're like icebergs.
they are incredible. They're one of the best things and an easy way to get a cheap lunch. I gotta sneeze.
Uh, See, I just bless you. By the way,
Thank you.
I just that butter, the rolls. The only thing that even makes it comparable is that pasta di fagioli, the chili with
Mm.
the Italian sausages they have in it. Do they even still do unlimited soup salad and breadsticks? They used to do it for $10 or something
I
like that.
think they do it for lunch,
Ah,
but
okay,
not dinner.
yeah,
Must have
because
been losing
then
too
they
much cash.
yeah, well, once Darden took them over, they were at one point they were saying you could only have one breadstick per person at the table at a time.
That's true.
And
And did you know Darden spun off of General Mills?
yes, and they found that when they stopped giving multiple breadsticks right away, people stopped coming to
Yeah,
Olive Garden.
yeah. I mean, could you imagine walking into an Olive Garden and get or a Texas Roadhouse, either one, let's say, and they gave you a single breadstick or roll? I'd be upset. I'd
Oh,
be pissed.
there'd be fists. They're
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I mean, it's throwdown time. Now, at both of them, the person that the person at the front that takes the reservations and that sort of stuff and gets you ready to seat, but never actually seats you, always gives you to somebody else to seat.
Yeah.
It's always like some 16-year-old girl that weighs 40 pounds that you can't get into a throwdown with because it just you would kill them by breathing at them wrong. So they've got that right to make sure that you don't kill anybody.
Yeah.
But but you go to grab a second breadstick in those days, they had, well, with the amount of work they did with those cheese graters, they could squeeze the blood out of your arm if you went for that second breadstick.
Easy, easy.
So Olive Garden loses on number one just simply because
Uh,
there's a whole ton of violence involved.
eh, I think they win because of the violence, but go ahead with
Okay,
your number 2.
my number two is you could be as dirty as you want at Texas Roadhouse.
Come
I
again.
mean, the peanuts on the floor everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you look at the people there; they've got their Sunday best overalls on, and I mean, it's that's their classy place when they go there. I mean, you don't have to wash because you just don't have to wash. You throw all your crap on the floor, and they come and they clean it up afterwards. I mean, it's just a place that you can treat like home.
Ugh, well, that doesn't I don't think that helps Texas Roadhouse. I don't think that's a win because A, everyone should bathe if you're able to, please. And to clarify, please don't throw your crap on the floor, throw the peanut shells. Thank you.
So realize I've seen the dredges of society. I went to a race at Talladega where people, I'm pretty sure, weren't wearing underwear under their overalls.
Uh,
Um, Cletus and Jimmy had 3 teeth between them.
I
It
harken
was
back
an
to
interesting.
the puking starfish boy. Yes, we know you've seen a lot.
Yes. So I just realized that I'm anesthetized to it. I now don't see the dirty people. I see people that have a story, and they're not going to tell you their story, so you get to make it up. And that's part of the fun, is because Olive Garden, you see these people in the grocery store
Ah,
and that sort of stuff. When you go to Texas Roadhouse, you see people you don't see anywhere else, mostly because they can't wheel that little oxygen tank all the way into the grocery store with them.
If you go to Waffle House in the morning, you see the same people you see at Texas Roadhouse. Uh,
We don't have Waffle Houses up here. I've seen the Waffle House fights. The Waffle House girl that just laid into she slapped a bitch something
oh,
severe.
yeah,
Uh, uh,
that's
yeah,
similar
I
clientele.
there was a guy that I saw that he did a thing where he was going to eat as many all you can eat pancakes at the Waffle House
Oh,
over a 24-hour period. He had to stay in the Waffle House. And he said after 18 hours, especially between like 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., he did not think he was going to make it. He was pretty sure he was going to get stabbed, shot, somehow murdered inside of the Waffle House.
in my brain, I thought you were going towards like, I had too many pancakes, I'm going to die. No, no, no. You're talking about actual death via stabbing. Got it.
Yes, yeah, and realize the closest I've been to it is George Webb. Anybody from Milwaukee will know what I'm talking about. The George Webb would offer their hamburger. I don't remember if it's a cheeseburger, if you had to pay for the upgrade to cheese, but every time that the Brewers won, you get free hamburgers there. Um, but it is like meth Denny's. That's the only way that I can put it. It is one of those places. The waitress had more keys on her keychain than she had teeth in her mouth.
Well, then I'm going to move on to my number two. On that note, so
Hey, George Webb could be our sponsor.
is is he defunct?
I don't know. It.
The institution.
Yes.
Uh, so this is what I love. I don't know if it's the most about Olive Garden, but it's up there. It's designed after an actual Tuscan farmhouse. Now you're like, Ryan, why does that matter? Why does that matter? Because I can go to nowhere, Oklahoma or Kuwait and get a Tuscan oasis in the middle of red dirt. And how incredible and remarkable is that to take you to a transformative world, no matter where you are, whenever you are?
I dispute that.
Why?
They have a Tuscan flair to them, but that is not a traditional Tuscan house.
It's designed
Okay,
after a
that
real
is a
one.
blueprint with a motif. It is not a house that they've copied it off of.
It's totally a house. It's grandma's house from Tuscany.
And if you ever walked in the grass outside of an Olive Garden, there is no grass. There's just little stumps because all of the grease coming everywhere has landed on the grass and it can't grow anymore.
Hey, Buca de Beppo. I don't know.
I just that is the American trailer park Italian food.
It's delightful, and we love it, and we love our transformative experience into Italy.
Okay, but here's the best part about Olive Garden. About once every 45 minutes, a song will start playing, and everybody from the service staff comes out and dances. It's amazing. Oh, wait, sorry, that's Texas Roadhouse. They do that at.
I see what you did there. Why is that a positive? Don't you just get wildly annoyed by that?
Oh no, I love asking them when they come up for whatever they come to your table for afterwards, how much of their soul was just sucked out of them every single time they have to do that dance. And you know what?
Well,
I have yet to have anybody have a negative reaction to that. Every single time I ask it, I say, how much did you die inside? And you see that little smirk and the look up to the left because they know. They can't hide it. They hate it. They have to do it and they have to practice it.
oh yeah, that it's not a short routine.
Yeah.
It's not like a couple steps.
Yes.
But okay. I mean, yeah, Olive Garden has like they'll say the whole staff will sing to you for your birthday, but it's not a whole choreographed dance. I'll give you that one.
Okay.
I'll give you that one.
Okay. But if you want to talk about the birthday thing, you can't forget the Texas Roadhouse sticks people on that saddle and sings to them while they're on that stupid saddle. And I've seen so many kids just absolutely mortified to be stuck on that thing because it is not pleasant. It's obviously not comfortable. You're in front of an entire restaurant that is pretty much laughing at you because you're on the stupid thing. I would never tell them it was my birthday, but I will go there
No.
to watch people who are too stupid not tell them it's their birthday, or that actually think it's a good idea.
When's the last time you actually went to a Texas Roadhouse?
Probably about 6 months ago.
Oh, you got me beat.
So
Okay.
here's the problem with Texas Roadhouse. You can never get in. You have to make reservations every day. If you try to go in at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, you need to call ahead because the line is already out the front door. You go to
It's
Olive Garden,
very No, Olive Garden's got the same problem.
but it starts later in the day.
Yeah, like 4:30.
Yeah, that's still an extra half an hour that you.
Gotta beat the blue hairs.
I mean, they're just finishing lunch with their soup salad and breadsticks. So
Uh, so the one of my favorite things about Olive Garden, because it's so obvious, at least to me, and I have just terrible taste buds, but the best chef at Olive Garden is the microwave.
I was going to say chef. That's like there's a chef at Applebee's. I mean, if you haven't figured out that everything at Applebee's is microwaved, you have issues. Because that.
I was surprised, though, to learn while I was doing the research that the soups and the breadsticks are made fresh every day, but everything else can come out of a package of some sort and they're just reheating it or lightly sautéing it, and they don't salt the water for their pasta, which that's it's just it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Why is it wrong?
You have to salt the water.
Tell
You always
Mr.
salt the water.
Tell Mr. I'm on a low sodium diet why that's a bad thing.
Okay, I'm not going to win that one.
So I'm going to go back to your motif thing because I think there's another benefit that totally blows away your Tuscan flair. And that's the fact that Texas Roadhouse is the only place where you can see a NASCAR sign, a deer head mounted on the wall, an armadillo, and a cactus all within 5 feet of where you're sitting.
But where's that taking me? That's not taking me to some transformative place. I just feel like I'm in like a trailer park in the desert and I might need to watch my back.
So what you're saying is it took you someplace. You just yeah, there's that look. Anytime that you've heard me say he's reevaluating his life choices, that's the look right there.
I'm not reevaluating my life choice. It's just a place I don't want to go. I should have been more prescriptive with my words.
But you could say that about lots of places. Walmart. I mean, does anybody really want to go to Walmart?
I have to abstain from commenting.
I've actually been kicked out of a Walmart. So
have you really?
Yeah, I took a bike for a ride through menswear. Somebody forgot to chain up the bikes. I got kicked out for a year. So
I love it.
Yeah,
it's great.
I got into a sword fight with like an 8-year-old kid in a Kmart one time. So I was like 25 years old, aimless, had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So apparently sword fights and bike rides inside of major department stores were my answer.
Man, I think I'm doing life wrong. I think at age 40, I'm going to start doing sword fights and bike rides inside department stores.
I had to pay for the swords because we destroyed them with the fight we had, but it was hilarious.
Wait, so is it my turn? No, it is my turn. So this is another taste thing, not too dissimilar from the microwave, but whenever you go to Olive Garden, what's not on your mind is to order steak, but the steak is fantastic there. So much so, I contend it tastes like a burnt rosemary shrub.
That's because they microwaved it too long.
Oh, yeah, way too long. They just happen to throw, like, aluminum foil in there to catch it on fire or something.
Yeah,
Like, literally, like, growing up, we had that was, like, a special occasion for us to go to Olive Garden for whatever reason. But every time we ordered any steak, it's just the chewiest thing, no matter if, like, you order it medium rare, medium, they're like hockey puck.
oh, yeah, and realize I have what's called bad bite syndrome. Do you know what bad bite syndrome is?
I don't know.
That's when you take a bite of something and it's not the consistency you expect, and then for a
Ah,
while afterwards, you're really, really hesitant. I had that happen with the steak at Olive Garden. I do not touch the steaks at Olive Garden ever again
yeah,
because
very similar
I'm
experiences.
pretty sure they're just trying to get rid of every single possible disease that they can by cooking it that much. You go,
Well, it's gotta be a low cut of meat, let's be
yeah,
real.
but you go to Texas Roadhouse and that's your immunization because they're giving you all of the bad stuff. I mean,
Starting with the peanuts.
well, I'm pretty sure that you could just get the steak raw. If you just told them, cook it for 5 seconds, flip it, and cook it for another 5 seconds and bring it out here, they would do that for you at Texas Roadhouse. They're there
I'm
to
sure.
serve you.
I mean, it's odd, I'm, like, wildly hungry for their stupid fucking rolls right now, and this is just so
Oh,
unfortunate. I haven't been hungry for those in such a long time.
I, I would go in there and just order a whole plate of their potato skins. I'd have
Oh, they do have good potato
Oh, and
skins.
I'd
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
tell
yeah. Yeah.
them, only half a portion of bacon, please, because there'd be a heap of bacon if you didn't tell them not to put that much bacon on it. I mean, you were cutting for a couple minutes to get down to the potato skin if you were
You
using a
know,
fork and knife.
the next time we meet up, we well, Chicago probably doesn't have one downtown, but if they do, that's where we're going.
I can't. Low sodium. I mean, realize they don't understand portion control at Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, we'll give you a celery stick. You'll be fine.
Oh, see, celery sticks is another one of my bad bite things. I actually chipped a tooth on a piece of celery once and have not enjoyed celery since. All I did was I bit into it and it hit my tooth down below. It just took a tiny little divot out of it. But
Even still,
yeah,
oh, sorry. I chipped one of my front teeth. It's such a terrible memory and pain. Anyway,
yep,
I digress.
yeah. So, but the
Oh,
portion control is just non-existent. So at Olive Garden, they trick you. Okay, you have to keep asking for more. At Texas Roadhouse,
yeah.
they just bring you everything right away. I mean, you get like 6 potato skins that those potatoes were made in a lab somewhere. They're so big. Okay, those aren't natural grown potatoes. Those are GMO'd to the farthest extent that they possibly can be. And then
Oh, yeah.
they bathe it in cheese. Okay, I mean
Oh,
it's a cheese boat at that point.
yep.
And then they take an entire pig, chop it up into little bits, and drop it on the plate. So that's how you get your bacon. And then they give you a tub of sour cream.
They do give you a lot of sour cream. It's actually kinda gross how much sour cream they give
Yeah,
you.
and all this while they're continuing to ply you with rolls. I mean, you have to ask, okay, can I get another thing of rolls? Can no, a thing of breadsticks? I want more soup, please. No, you get the biggest portion that anybody can handle every single time that you go. And that's why the people are there in their good overalls because they want to look good, but they don't, they just have to be a little bit wary of stuff's going to dribble out of their mouth.
America.
Yes. Yep. Adjust their Trump flags on the back of their truck before they leave.
Oh. So, this is, I don't know if this is well known, but I think this is fascinating, and one of the reasons that I think it sets Olive Garden apart from Texas Roadhouse in a good way. So every year they send their managers and some of their cooks to an actual culinary school in Tuscany.
To teach them
Sort of.
how to microwave?
Sort of. It's actually just a hotel in the off season that they send some of the top performers to taste things and talk to local chefs, and they don't actually learn how to cook anything, which is consistent with the microwave.
I mean, they learn how to
But
stir the soup a little bit more. I can.
yeah, no, I don't even think it's that.
Can you imagine the kitchens in these places? Could you imagine how filthy they are? because that pot that has the pasta fagioli, that hasn't been watched since 1987 at
No, they
any.
just keep the fire on
Yeah,
24/7.
it's cheaper to keep it going than have to make new. So
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you dig down into the bottom of that thing, you're getting soup from 10, 11 years ago. Um,
Yeah, 1987. Here's your soup.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that they've super glued a couple of steaks together at Texas Roadhouse. You know, oh, this guy only ate half. This guy only ate half. We have a whole steak.
Texas Roadhouse is wild though because like if I recall it, it really has been a while. When you walk in to the right or left of you, depending on how they set it up, they have just the meat case,
Yes,
like a butcher counter, and you're just like, I guess I can pick my steak now and flag it
but
now. Yes,
no,
yes, you can.
but nobody when I've gone in has ever said, "Are you having steak today? Do you want to pick your steak?" So I feel like
No,
I'm
they just
missing out
assumed
at
it.
a. I think they're missing out. I'm missing out on an experience where I get to pick my steak because I've
Yeah,
been to
you.
some very high end steakhouses around the U.S. and
Yeah,
they will bring you the steak, the Wagyu beef. They will show you the two types of Wagyu beef that they have, explain the
yep.
marbling, all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty sure the people there would say, "Yeah, that's a steak, and that's a steak, and that's a steak," and they couldn't even define the cut.
Well, I mean, they're hiring like teenagers, and all respect to teenagers, they deserve the job and all that kind of stuff. But they're not going to take the time to learn the cuts of meat. And if you get one that is has learned it, they probably grew up on a farm, and this is just their way to break out.
Yeah, anybody that knows the cuts of steaks does not work there. They've already graduated. That they've gone.
Fair, fair.
They've decided they're going to go to the Olive Garden Culinary Arts Institute.
In Tuscany
Yes,
to microwave steaks.
yes. So I mean, honestly though, the amount of crap that just has to be in the back of the average Olive Garden or Texas Roadhouse that they just leave there, like scraping the grease off the floor, the sauce off the floor every night.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, I would love to see an order coming into either one of these restaurants just to see, okay, like I'm assuming Texas Roadhouse rolls are probably pre-rolled and they just have to pop them in an oven and go, right? But I would love to see like Olive Garden, how much flour do you receive on a given day or week or whatever? How many bags of lettuce are you receiving?
Oh no,
It's just got to be like ungodly.
it's the weirder stuff you have to worry about. How many bags of dried bacon bits does Texas Roadhouse go through in the average
Oh,
day?
it's just a 53-foot semi unloading every day.
I mean, they just go to the back, stick a tube inside of the back of the truck, and the butter flows
Just suck it
directly.
out.
The butter flows directly into the little containers. They just have a conveyor belt.
I have something that sets mine well apart from yours, and I don't think you're gonna be able to match this. You'll probably say whatever you have is better, but you won't be able to match this. So, Olive Garden is frequented by some A-list celebrities, such as Post Malone and Jimmy Fallon.
So that's not a draw to me because in Minnesota, where I live, there are no A-list celebrities. There's no B-list. There's no C-list celebrities. I mean, we don't have that. So that's not a draw to me because my local Olive Garden that's over down in Maple Grove, um, that's frequented by Jimmy the Hobo and Johnny the.
That's the best you could come up with, Jimmy the
Oh
Hobo?
yes, definitely. I mean, he goes out and panders all day in the boulevard on the road to get his $14.99 so he can get himself a good meal at the Olive Garden or at Texas Roadhouse. We don't have the creme de la creme of society coming to Minnesota to dine. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to do this is there's not an awful lot of places in Minnesota that are really good for food. And I happen to live on the north side, which means everything is a chain. There are so few family owned or high end restaurants. It's disturbing. I have to go down to downtown Minneapolis to get a really good steak. We have a steak place we go
Oh,
to.
you
801
have
Chop
some
House.
great
I am
yeah.
serious. 801 Chop House. You guys are amazing. We spend $400 every time that we're there, but we have to be rolled out in a wheelbarrow afterwards because of how much you feed us.
I will say Minneapolis downtown has some phenomenal restaurants. 801 is fantastic. That I think they're a chain now. They've expanded, but um Bar La Grassa.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Manny's.
Oh, their gnocchi. Ugh.
Yeah,
All day long, all day long. I
Manny's is amazing. Marie's not so much.
now I have to go back to a comment. You said you don't have any A-list celebrities. I mean, I know he's passed, but you had Prince
I'm.
and
You think that
and you had
Prince went to the Olive Garden with the way that Prince presented himself? You're thinking he's I just finished doing the Flapjacks episode with Dave Carell, Dave Chappelle. Let's go to the Olive Garden. No, he never went to Olive Garden.
game blouses. Vince Vaughn? Come on now. You know he's going to Texas Roadhouse and or Olive Garden
Vince Vaughn lives in Minnesota.
from Minneapolis, yeah.
Oh God, just another reason to leave this shithole.
Not a big Vince Vaughn fan, huh?
No, I'm not. So, but again, there are some good places, but they're so scattered that you have to make reservations days ahead. And this should be a challenge for people in Minnesota. I realize Duluth, Brainerd, Bemidji, Alexandria, you're used to the chains because that's all that you have. But when you come to the cities, please it, go to the chain so we can go to the good restaurants without you taking up all the reservations. I mean, Crave for uh, Valentine's Day, you have to make your reservation like a month ahead. Okay, and they have like 6 different Craves in the Minneapolis St. Paul area, and all of them will be sold out because people come from other places and take all the reservation slots.
This is why I don't do the Hallmark holidays.
Yeah, well, my wife
I
has
know.
this issue called if I don't do the holidays, I might not wake up the next day.
You do have a constant threat of being murdered,
Yes.
just hovering about,
Yes.
sometimes with a knife.
Oh, no, 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 no. It's not going to be a knife. She's already got the plan. She knows how it's going to be done. It's not going to be a knife.
Oh, that's right. We actually talked
Yeah,
about
she
it.
doesn't like blood. She will pass out at blood, so she will not take a knife to me. She can shoot me as long as I fall on the other side of the bed, so she doesn't have to see the blood. So she's got plans. So, but we digressed from Olive Garden
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
versus
yeah.
Texas Roadhouse.
But well, I think it's obvious that Olive Garden won.
I don't think it's so obvious. I think
What when you're here, your family? Come on.
when you're here,
Give me
you're
Texas Road.
full is Texas Roadhouse.
That is not their tagline. You just made that up.
But is it true?
Oh, it's very true. You have to be wheelbarrowed out of there.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Yes. Like people, BYOW, bring your own wheelbarrow.
Oh yes, I was like, does that work? No,
Yes,
you did that
I
right.
did that right. So I had to think it through in my head. You should have seen the wheels spinning up here when I tried that.
But thank God there was no
Uh,
finger counting
but
involved.
I will tell you, both these restaurants figure out how to build a bigger parking lot. There's never any parking when you go to those restaurants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Neither of them do that well.
Okay.
It's like,
And the parking lot was last paved in the 1800s. So please do some patch fill. I know it's going to come up in the winter anyways, but just put some patch fill down so that my car doesn't bottom out every 4 feet while I'm driving through your parking lot.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I will,
Yeah, there's always massive chuckles in every single lot.
and I will tell you, the smell that comes out of Olive Garden is nothing compared to the smell that comes out of Texas Roadhouse. The Texas Roadhouse we go to is over by a Lowe's, and inside Lowe's, sometimes it smells a little bit like steak. So
That's confusing. It's like, is it steak or is it sawdust or is it a combo of both? Either way, I'm excited.
Well, maybe that's how they bind the two halves of the steak together so they can resell it.
Just put sawdust in
Yes.
there. Oh,
Oh,
that's
now
awesome.
that I'm going to get in trouble from Texas Roadhouse and never be let in there again.
I don't think I'm gonna get let into Olive Garden with my microwave comment, that alone.
Okay, so we got to pick a winner here. And I think what we have to do is understand that no matter what we do, everybody's a loser when it comes to these two places. Yes, the food's good for you, but obviously the food's good, but it's not good for you in any way. It's not the
Alright.
highest end of the food. Everything that you go in there is dangerous because if you've ever seen how they put baby chairs on a table at Texas
Oh,
Roadhouse, you,
the clampy one?
that sits on the end of the table that has no
Yeah,
feet.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you fear for that child's life the entire time that it's in there.
But, yeah, I'll I think the real winner here is Ruby Tuesdays.
Oh, our last Ruby Tuesday's closed. There isn't one
I
in here
used to
anymore.
I don't even know if they exist anymore, but I used to love them.
Yeah, they were decent. It's like Chili's. It's
But it was like a step up, just a step up from
yeah. They
Chili's.
went and said Applebee's. We can beat that, not realizing that Applebee's is down here, and all they had to do was go here. I mean,
All they had to do is, like, put wallpaper on and not, like, 10,000 license plates.
yeah, all they had to do was say, "Let's not be Denny's," and they were able to beat Applebee's.
Fair. Oh, Applebee's is the biggest sodium bomb, I think, of all of them. I mean, you walk in there and you're just like the backs like right back here behind your jaw is just like screaming, like, stop with the salt.
Yeah, but I think the biggest loser of all is Perkins.
Oh, Perkins. I had a real nostalgic moment there. We used to go there after work. I used to work at a movie theater, and we'd stay open, have to stay up super late and watch movies to make sure they were good for Friday release. We'd go there and go get pie afterwards
Yeah, see,
because they were 24 hours where we were.
every time I go to a Perkins now, all I see is shame and despair. So it's
Well, oh, that's all there was back then.
yeah,
But do you remember they had the little cream colored ceramic mugs that you could barely fit your knuckle through, and they put the scalding hot coffee in there?
I
Oh
got
God, that was
I
great.
got one more that's better than that. It doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if you guys had them. They were called Old Country Buffet.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We
Yeah,
had Old Country Buffet.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we had Ponderosa. Do you have
We
Ponderosa?
had Ponderosas too. Yeah, Old Country
Yeah,
Buffet we
very
called the
similar.
trough though, because
Well,
basically
that's like
you're
the new one's Golden Corral.
our Golden Corral shut down. They couldn't keep the lowest end buffet chain going in Minnesota. Tell me how that's possible. But
The
I mean, that chocolate fountain was just that was a cesspool. I mean,
I went to Golden Corral one time and I saw the chocolate fountain and I was like, "What in the happy fuck is actually going on here?"
yeah, and at the trough, I used to like the ham. We used to go at lunch. There's a 7.99 lunch thing. It was while I was working in Wisconsin, and we'd go there on lunch, get stuffed as much as we possibly could, then go for a shift. It was me, Ben, a guy by the name of Ben Derricks. That we it would be almost
No, man.
impossible to not fall asleep. I mean, the
Those
corn,
were the
the
days.
mashed potatoes, the bread, the spaghetti, the wings, the ham, everything was horrible, but you got a lot of it.
I mean, for $8, something's gotta be wrong with it. But, uh I do want to shift just a minute. So I know coming up we have our celebrity cage match, and on repressedhumorissues.com we do have our bracket up ready to go. You all can submit your own takes on the competition, see who's gonna win over each other. I still think the premise is hilarious, and I love how AI paired who they did together. I still think that's so fascinating.
Yeah, so a couple of pieces to that. We didn't pick the pairings. We had a
Yep.
random number generator. It wasn't AI, it was just a random number generator that did
Oh,
it.
okay.
But what we're going to do is we're going to let AI tell the story of the fight. Okay, so this will not be us doing this. We're actually going to put it into AI. We're not going to say which one because I don't want to get in trouble. We've tested this. There's one that's much better than the other.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there's one that really does not like Shia LaBeouf.
Nope, not one bit. It really hates him.
I love it because you're going to hear us read the tale of the tape and the fight and all that sort of stuff, and it's just weird as hell. So we haven't picked the winners yet. We're going to do that with our AI pieces, but this is basically we picked who was fighting, and then we let the computers go and do everything else to be able to determine how these fights take place. You can send in your entries until the 23rd of January. On the 23rd of January, we're going to release round one's winners. So if you go onto it, you'll see there's a big plea for Jolt Cola to sponsor us with kind of some guilt towards Surge if they don't.
Yep.
And we may have to get Zima involved if we don't hear anything from these companies.
Watch out, Jolt. You're on the chopping block.
But I mean, you can literally pick all of your winners, hit submit. There's an extra button push. I'm sorry, it's WordPress. It's not me, but just make sure you hit the submit button at the end, and we'll just have some fun with this.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. The AI bit is added a new layer of awesomeness because originally we were gonna, come up with the stories after AI decided the winner, but then having AI generate the commentary was remarkable.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I mean, the few tests that we did, we were cackling.
Yeah.
So I hope it's as funny as it is to us as it is to you. I think I said that wrong, but we're gonna go with it. But either way, January 23rd.
Can you get through a whole bit without messing it up ever? Just so I know.
Never. No, never. I'm the worst. You realize that. I mean, I'm the worthless peon, recall?
Yes. I just remember you screwing up releasing number 2 and number 1. I mean, that was just that was inexcusable.
Yeah, I fucked that up.
Yeah. So
because I kept the list on my phone. Anyway, my fault. I own it.
If you're listening to this, if you're among the tens of people that are listening to this,
yeah,
we're always looking for weird ideas. We've got a couple of other weird lists that we want to do. This just came out of a conversation Ryan and I had about trying to pair weird things together, and it turned into restaurants. My ADD is going nuts with my background back here. I keep on seeing light moving, so this video thing is messing us up a little bit. But if you have an idea for a weird list, and it's got to be weird, we don't want to do just a standard list. If you have an idea for a topic you'd like to cover, go to repressedhumorissues.com. We have the ability to be able to do a regular contact us, to submit a list, to submit your own values for a list, your own choices for a list. So like we have the 10 most horrible cars. You could actually send in your 10 most horrible cars that you've driven. We want to get ideas from you because as much as we think we're funny, we want to make sure we're funny to a broader audience as well. And sometimes it helps to have you guys telling us what you think is funny.
Absolutely. Yeah. And don't hesitate to reach out to us, repressedhumorissues@gmail.com, or on our socials at repressedhumorissues on Instagram, and
at RHI_podcast at Twitter. And please, somebody after this comes out, just go to Twitter, go to that and tell Ryan he needs to keep his camera off. I will pay you to give that as feedback that he needs to make sure he keeps his video off.
Why? It's a beautiful video.
I'm just trying to be mean. I mean, come on. This is my stick here. This is what I do.
Yeah, I guess I'm the balance. But either way, I want to thank everyone for joining us on this episode. I almost said episode of Repressed Humor Issues. Again, I am Quillfort, the Fartster.
And I'm Thanos.
The worthless peon of the group.
Oh, I'm Thanos, a god.
And until next time, we thank you for joining us.
You didn't have to smirk like that when I said a god. That was mean.
But you hurt? You need a virtual hug?
No, you need a virtual ass kicking.
uh, 2, please.